GraceKennedy believes in corporate social responsibility because, as a 92-year-old company, we've always, that's based in Jamaica, based in downtown Kingston, we've always been concerned about the people of Jamaica. Our mantra is whatever is good for Jamaica is good for GraceKennedy, and we reflect that in all the actions that we do. This young man, when we were looking at his application form for UTech, he had very, very good grades at UTech, but his CAPE and CXC grades were weak, and generally we wouldn't even consider that student for one of our scholarships. But I was perplexed by it, so I invited him into the office, and when I spoke with him, it turned out he's from St. Thomas. He lived in a board house with his family of 6. He had to carry water, there was no running water, and the reason his grades weren't good in high school was because he just didn't have the money for books and for transportation and just to survive. But he had gotten into university and he was just giving his best. And this young man actually interns for us every summer now. And he's doing extremely well. He just got a scholarship from the Chinese ambassador for his final year. He got a scholarship last year from the GraceKennedy Foundation, and we have continued to assist him throughout the time as well. So he's just one example of the lives that we're changing, and his story is typical of the students that we help. So GraceKennedy supports a number of charities. It's a very diverse company, and so a lot of our charities are funded through various companies. For example, First Global Bank has a music program for children in primary schools where they're trying to use music education to really actually help them improve academically. Western Union, since 2004, has been funding the iPledge program, and that is to provide school books for children in primary schools across the island. As far as the foundations are concerned, any organization that approaches us for funding that fits within our mandate of education, we do our best to fund them as well. So we fund basic schools and schools across the island. And then, of course, we have the Grace and Staff Community Development Foundation that works in inner city areas across Kingston and as well as in Spanish Town, and they have 400 children on the program that they currently provide homework facilities for, as well as lunch money and things like that. Between both of the foundations, the GraceKennedy Foundation and the Grace and Staff Community Development Foundation, we spend at least $50 million a year on educational activities. GraceKennedy as a company, as a whole, spends about 4% of their pre-tax profit on education and on helping others in the community. So, for example, our corporate office and the foods department gets numerous letters every day asking for help with back to school summer programs or Christmas treats, things like that. And that's money that is just given, it's not promoted, it's not about what we have done, it is all about just helping people in their communities succeed.